Hey guys, it's Brad and the Buff. I got my buff on my head and I am ready to go. I recently did a video on my spring outfit, I guess. I put it together, but this is actually exactly what I'm going to be taking on the Allegheny Trail through hike. I'm going to go through each item in this video. I have combed through all of my gear to get it dialed in exactly the way I want it for this trip. Some of the stuff, the only thing that I may be backpacking that you don't see here is a few clothes items. I'm going to do that in a different video. Everything you see here comes in at just over 7.5 pounds. So if you add about a pound or two for clothing gear that I may be wearing or may not be wearing, such as my rain jacket, and then I'm bringing a synthetic jacket, that's going to add maybe a pound. So I'll probably end up somewhere about 8.5 to 9 pounds of packed weight, not including fuel, not including food, and not including water. When you add all those items in together, I'm going to be somewhere probably just below 20 pounds for most of the hike. Let me quickly go through each item with you. You guys have seen me do this. This is my Z-Packs Nero. It weighs about 11 ounces. I have a couple side pockets on it. And then I also have this butt pad that folds out and goes perfectly underneath of my sleeping pad. This weighs about 2 to 3 ounces, but folds all the way out, so it goes all the way under my sleeping pad, and it adds cushion and also something to sit on in case it's raining out or cold. This is part of my big three, which your big three is considered your tent, your sleeping system, and your backpack. So between both of these items, I'm at about 14 ounces. Now my sleeping items, I have a Z-Packs pillow. It's just an inflatable pillow. It's extremely simple. This is about 1.5 ounces. It was the lightest one I could find, and just something to stick my head on. Nothing fancy about it. I love my X-Lite. This is my Thermarest X-Lite. I have found this to be the best just all-around pad. I have one of each of the other types of Thermarest. The Uber Light feels a little bit too thin to me, and this one has a really good R rating for how light it is. It's about 18 ounces. So I've got 18 ounces into my sleeping pad, and then my actual quilt. This is my quilt. It ends up being about 19 ounces. It is an Enlightened equipment. I got an extra long, extra wide 40 degree. I've been very comfortable. Anything above 35 degrees, I'm very comfortable in. At about 30 degrees, for me personally, it starts to get a little bit tricky. But you combine this with my other items, I'm really good to go. I think it's going to do very well for me on this trip. I'm going to be right in those temps. My tent is going to be a Z-Packs Altaplex. These are made for taller hikers. The only thing I would think about that I could change this out for may be an X-Med, but that's a different tent. I've never owned one, so I'm very happy with my Altaplex. This is 23 ounces all in with the pole and the stakes. So that's going to be the majority of my weight. Probably, if you add all that up, I'm probably at about 4.5, 5 pounds with that. So next, by far, my next biggest piece of gear is my electronics. I'm bringing 2 batteries because last time there was a couple times it got close. This is an emergency battery. It's a 10,000 milliamp Anchor, and this weighs about 8 ounces, 8.5 ounces. And then I have a 26,000 milliamp Con. It's called a Con X1. It's got a little meter reading, tell you what percentage you're on. And so I'm bringing 2 batteries because I like to do the recording. I like to listen to books on tape. And so I want to I have a lot of weight into these 2. I have switched over all my gear to essentially be USB-C. So I'm bringing 2 Anchor port chargers for USB-C. The reason I'm bringing 2 instead of 1 with a double stack is I have redundancy in case something happens to one. If it breaks, I will have a second one I can use. I can charge 2 things at once on 2 different outlets. Each of these weighs about 1.5 ounces. And then all of my cords, the kind of cords that I bring is I bring one dedicated with a USB-C end and a flash end. So that weighs a little bit less than 1 ounce. I bring one for my headlamp and my headphones, my Bluetooth headphones. That's got a micro USB, so that's a dedicated one. And then I'm bringing straight USB-C to USB-C cord. So 3 different cords that are just dedicated to one thing. And then I found this pretty nifty, it's from Chiffon, I guess. And it is a 3-in-1 end where it goes to USB-C, micro, and then the other end is a just regular USB charger or USB-C. So it's kind of, I can get just about everything. This is an all-in-one. In my experience, these have a very high fail rate. They seem to break down quicker than other cords. So this is just like an emergency backup in case one of my other cords go. Typically, if something happens to your cords, you can get another one at a gas station, so I don't ever freak out about it. But I do have multiple ways to charge my stuff. I am bringing Bluetooth headphones because, like I said, I like to listen to a book on tape. My headlamp, I've been using this one for a while. It's a USB micro rechargeable Foxelli. It's about 3 to 4 ounces. You can get maybe 1 ounce shaved off of this for a different style, but I've liked this one. It works well for me. My emergency communication is going to be my Bivy stick. So this is the ACR version. It's the Bivy Stick 2. I've taken this and used it before. This is for satellite emergency. It is very simple. There's not a lot of pieces to it, but it can send an emergency SOS with just a click of a button. And I found that it works well. It can do tracking. It doesn't do a lot of things. The main thing is that the subscription service, you can just turn on and turn it off. And I don't use it that often, but it is nice to have when I need it. I am bringing like just a microfiber towel. I can do the inside of my tent or wash my face. It is nice to have a quick dry microfiber towel. It weighs about 1 ounce, a little bit less than that. My heating kit is just going to be this Caldera cone style with a titanium Evernew pot up top. This pot is, I'm only ever going to use it for drinking and for heating up water. I never cook anything in it. And then I'm using an alcohol stove, which is just my Tokes titanium alcohol stove, and they all nest in together. So that's pretty cool. You just put your alcohol stove in here, you light it up. I have a video on this, very efficient. I use alcohol stoves for if I'm doing longer trips. That way I don't have to worry about not being able to find fuel. You can find fuel for an alcohol stove at just about any gas station. So it just makes it easier to resupply instead of an isopropane canister. Also within my cooking set, each of these bottles is a little less than 1 ounce. This is what I carry my fuel in. A Vargo, both of them just have an adjustable knob. They don't leak, and then I put them in a plastic bag to make sure I don't get fuel. I always store these on the outside of my bag in case the fuel does leak. I have 16 ounces of carry. 1 ounce for me of alcohol stove fuel is going to give me approximately about 1 boil, but usually I'm just heating water up just to get it warm. I don't need to bring it to a full boil. So 1 ounce can get me about 2 warm-ups. So 8 ounces of fuel is good for about 10 to 12 ounces or 10 to 12 meals. So that's how I do the math on it. So I have plenty of fuel carry for meals. What is in my meal kit? I have a long-handled titanium spoon. That's what I use to stir things in. I use my Ceenoc buck bag. This is what I'm going to put my ramen in to heat it up. I can cold soak in this. I can use it for extra water carry if I need it. I put my oatmeal. So I reconstitute all my meals in this, and then I just eat right out of it. A lot of times what I'll do is, like even with my oatmeals, I'll make it a little bit thinner, shake it up in here, and then I can just kind of like drink out of it, and it just makes it super easy. And then the clean out is also easy because I just pour water in here, shake it, pour it back out, about 1 ounce of water, and I can get this clean. Water carry, water filtration. Right down here, you're going to see I carry this CNOC collapsible cup, it just takes up less space. Also great if I need to back flush with, because I can kind of squeeze it down and get more pressure behind it. So I just bring this as a backup to my just smart water bottle, which typically I can just put my filter directly on, actually this way, and drink out of if I want to. So I got enough. Each of these is an ounce, or I'm sorry, not an ounce, a liter. And then my CNOC Vecto 3-liter carry is my main carry system. This is about 3 ounces. I probably didn't go over some of the other stuff. In all of my cords and everything, I have about 30 ounces in electrical equipment, so about 2 pounds, I'd say, in electrical equipment. My stove altogether, all in with my stove, this whole setup here is about 6 ounces, and then I'll carry about 8 ounces of fuel at any given time. Like I said, I carry this, so I have 3, and then if I filter into these, I have 5 ounces of water. Or 5 liters of water. I like to be able to carry 5 liters of water, because for me, I've found that when I get into camp at night, if I fill all of this up, I have enough to make my dinner, to make my breakfast, to have extra drinking water, and to get out in the morning. So 5 liters is going to do me about 2 meals and extra drinking water. So it's nice for me to have about 5 liters total. And then I use my Sawyer squeeze. This is about 3 ounces. I've been using this for a couple years. I love my Sawyer squeeze. I know there's the micro, I know there's the bee-free, but just for the adaptability of this, if I lose a water bottle, I can pick up a new one at a gas station and just screw it right on. And it has never failed me. I back flush it. It has worked great. And then, you know, your typical, what they call your Ditty bag, is going to be the rest of my equipment. And I have, I'd say, about 8 ounces in here. I'm going to have an extra lighter in here. I have, you know, a fire starter in case I need to make an emergency fire. I've got a repair kit for my sleeping pad. I carry some minor medical equipment. I carry just a few painkillers. I carry stuff to seal up my tent with if I need to seal it up. So this is kind of like my emergency bag. I have a needle in there in case I need to sew anything. I bring a couple cords. One is my bear bag cord, and then one is just another guy line in case one breaks on my tent, because my tent requires guy lines. A toothbrush, sawed off, of course. I carry a very small opinel knife. You can see it's just a micro knife. I use this all the time for cutting up food, or if I need to shear a line. I carry a little thing of floss. The main reason I carry this in case something gets stuck in my teeth, but also I can use this as sewing thread. So if I need to stitch myself up, if I get a really bad wound, if I need to sew up my tent or jacket, I can use the floss as sewing line. I carry, Leuco tape. If I get any hot spots, I can put that on. I carry an extra water cap, because in the past I have lost a water cap, and then my bottle was basically worthless. I couldn't fill anything up or store in it. And then it also has a flush in case I need to back flush using this. So I have multiple ways of back flushing. And then I carry toilet paper, and I carry other types of med. I separated them out from the painkillers because I had one trip where I couldn't tell which was which. But I'm going to carry some Pepto-Bismol tablets in case I get an upset stomach. I carry some stuff in case I get diarrhea, Imodium, and then I usually carry a little bit of melatonin in case I'm having a hard time sleeping. And then the only things that I have that you can't see here, this is literally all the gear I'm going to have with me, is my Gorilla Mini Pod, which I'm actually have set up to do this so you can't see it, and then my phone. The Gorilla Mini Pod is about 2 to 3 ounces, and my phone with the case on it is about 8.5 ounces. So if you add those into the gear, depends on whether you call your phone worn weight or non-worn weight. Like I said, I'm going to be right at about 10 pounds total. But yeah, this is all the gear that I'm taking with me. This is all I'm going to need. I should have a very comfortable trip with these items. They all kind of work together in various ways. I didn't spend a lot of time on each individual one, but this gear has all been tested. It's all gear that I love. and I'm looking forward to getting it on the trail for my Allegheny Trail through hike. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. I'll see you all next video. Hey guys, if you like the video you just saw, please subscribe, click the bell so you can get alerted for any new videos that I may do, and check the links below for any information I described in the video. I'll try to put as much there as possible. Thanks for watching.